So open your mind and realize that your beautiful world could take my life. And I'm sinking under, drowning faster. Please just let me breathe. The air is leaving and I'm lost in need of you again. You break me down and you make me surrender.
21. Yo guys, what is up? Max in our first Descendant video, and today we are going to be talking about the Thundercage. Now, Thundercage is one of my most used weapons. It basically fell out of use once cores got added and they started to really amp up the damage of other weapons. Well, in today's update, they massively buffed the Thundercage and is now ridiculously powerful. We're going to be going over everything you need to know, as well as the builds that I'm using it on. Hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. Let's do this. Let's start by talking about what's different with the Thundercage. So on hitting a target with the Thundercage, you inflict quick charge. Hitting a target that is inflicted with quick charge procs electric shockwave, which deals damage and inflicts overcharge on nearby targets. If you defeat an enemy with quick charge on them, you create electric shockwaves that deal damage and overcharge nearby targets. If you hit a target inflicted with overcharge with electric shockwave, hits a target with thunder to deal damage and inflict electrocution. Basically, as you're shooting at enemies, you're going to be basically proccing a charge on them, and then as you shoot at them, you're going to be proccing electric shockwaves and also calling thunder down on them in, less words. And this now does a ton of damage. You're proccing electrocution, which is a dot, which does fire damage over time. You're calling down thunderbolts, which are doing 615% of your thunder damage, and you're also proccing shockwaves that do 265 of your firearm damage and can hit up to 8 targets. So basically, when you put all of that together, it looks like this. Pump our buffs and go. So you'll notice multiple effects here. The dots are the electrocution. The chaining lightning is our shockwave, and then the thunder coming down from the sky is our thunder. So the weapon is now doing a lot. And what's really cool about the Thundercage is not only is it good for mobbing, but it's also, or can be, really good for bossing as well. So now an absolutely awesome weapon. Let's go over how to build it. So by default, the Thundercage is coming in with 11k base firearm attack and a very respectable 9k electric damage. It's got 26 rounds in the mag, and most notably, it's going to be dealing at 20. It starts with 20% base crit rate with a 2x crit damage multiplier, and its multi-hit damage is only 0.1. So we are going to be building this thing to amplify its electric attack, and also its crit rate and crit damage is really where we're going to focus on this. So we've got two builds for the Thundercage. One is for infinite ammo, basically Descendants that don't need to reload, like your Glaze or your Ajaxes, and then a non-infinite ammo build, which simply just goes into expand weapon charge for the extra rounds. The infinite ammo build that never needs to reload doesn't need extra magazine size, so we're using sharp precision shot. And this is the build that I'm currently rocking on Ajax. You can do something if you really want to min-max for bosses, which we'll talk about in a second. But just for general use, we're rocking rifle reinforcement and action and reaction. These up our firearm attack a ton. Then we're going to be rocking our 2 blue crit mods, better concentration and better insight for more crit rate and crit damage. Then for purple crit mods, we're rocking concentration priority for 120% more crit damage, edging shot for more crit rate. We really want as much crit as possible. And then we're rocking 2 attribute mods, electric enhancement, which gives us even more electric attack. Electric priority gives us more electric damage, but slower reloads. We don't really care about reloads on the infinite ammo build because we're not going to be reloading. And then lastly, sharp precision shot, which does reduce our initial fire rate, but after firing, we start to build up stacks of increased fire rate, reduced recoil, and increased firearm attack. We can maintain this at 10 stacks very, very easily, which is just a massive damage increase. The non-infinite ammo build, it's identical. We're just rocking expand weapon charge. For bosses, you can sub out rifle reinforcement for overwhelm. Overwhelm gives us more weak point damage, but also more advantage affinity damage if any boss is weak to our burst damage. We already have a lot of firearm damage, so This will give you a little bit more damage if you want to squeak out a little bit more, but totally not necessary. It is the same socket type, so there's no real reason to not use it. And then just like rifle reinforcement for like just normal gameplay. Now, the next thing I wanted to go over, I know it's probably old news for some of you, but it's news that's new for me, as I didn't really get to play around with it, is an infinite ammo Ajax build. Ajax got some substantial reworks, particularly they gave a huge change to his mobile fortress mod, which now allow you to get rotating barriers, and when these rotating barriers come in contact with enemies, you inflict void leakage on enemies. If you kill that enemy, that void leakage spreads. But if you shoot an enemy with void leakage while you're firing at them, you're going to be getting a massive firearm damage multiplier that is based off of your defense. That damage multiplier can stack up to 224%, which is crazy. And on this setup, we'll have that full max damage at all times. It also changes his fourth ability, Mobile Fortress, to move with you. And when this is buffed up, you're going to get extra firearm attack, extra firearm crit damage. And you're also going to be getting 50% increased defense. You're going to want to be casting this when it is enhanced. Whenever you have your enhanced skills up, you want to cast this. And then this will give you basically capped defense to max out void acceleration damage multiplier. And all you really need to do with the build is... So we're going to cast these to get our full things. Pop that. And then just bump into like any enemy with your thing. And then that will give you infinite ammo. And with Sharp Precision Shot, where you can just keep firing, stacking damage, and this will melt just about every boss that you come across. But you can also use it just for like normal mobbing. And if you ever need to activate your buffs again or get more ammo, you can activate your barrier skills, and then you get your round supply back. It's really, really, really nice. All right, so on Ajax, we're rocking Supply Fortress. This means that whenever you're using your 1 or your 4, you have a chance to get ammo back, which is super nice. You're definitely going to want to rock Supply Fortress. Otherwise, you will blitz through your ammo all too quickly. For defense, we're rocking Increased Defense and Shield Conversion. This will give you a ton of defense. Note that you are going to want to proc your Enhanced 4 with this build. 1, because it gives you a ton of extra firearm damage, firearm crit, and firearm crit damage increase, but proccing the Enhanced 4 will also max out your defense to have the maximum amount of damage that you can receive from your 1 ability. We're rocking Maximize Duration for extra uptime on the 1. MP Conversion is all of the cooldown you need, actually. For example, on our first ability, we're on a 4-second cooldown with a 10-second duration. The fourth ability is on a 9-second cooldown with a 25-second duration. So you don't need much more cooldown than that. And then we're rocking Shot Focus. I am rocking an Ancestor mod with defense. You could definitely get more defense out of this. If you don't have an Ancestor mod for Ajax, you would want to rock, most likely, an Iron Will. This reads that when your shield is at 0, you get 128% defense. On this particular setup, we'll have around 100 shield, so your shield will be constantly down. So this can supplement having low amounts of if you don't have like an Ancestor mod. With defense, definitely not the best Ancestor mod, but you're just mainly looking for a lot of defense here. We're rocking Shot Focus for the firearm damage increase, skill expansion, and maximum range. The 1 ability has a max expandable range of 300%. So with skill expansion, maximize range, we will have this up at full range. That's the one downside of this build, is you do need to make sure that you are getting close enough to enemies to proc void leakage on them. Once you proc void leakage, you can move away and it'll propagate on death. But your initial targets, you do need to get close enough. So having range just kind of alleviates some of the, or increases the quality of life of the build. We're rocking an HP amplification, once again, to lower our shield if you want to rock an Iron Will and also get more HP. And then the last mod slot is a bit situational / up to you. So this last mod slot, you could run an HP mod if you wanted to be extra tanky, and then you could substitute HP amplification out for Battle of Stamina for some extra duration if you wanted to go that route. You could go for even more duration. The 1 ability has a pretty low uptime of void acceleration, but as long as you're shooting something with void leakage, you don't have to worry about that. But you could, for example, put skill extension here and get the duration up on your one ability. This brings it to 7.7 seconds, so that's really nice. You could also run agony here. Agony gives you even more defense. We're looking to be about at 320 defense. Right now I'm at 316 with agony on. You'll get to that as soon as you proc your 4, but if you don't want to have to worry about proccing your 4 for like more casual play, you could rock agony here or an iron will. There are a ton of choices. Put an iron will there. For bosses, if you want to like really min-max your boss damage, you could put walk a tight rope here, and then instead of HP amplification, use conditional recharge. Conditional recharge will reduce your max HP, and you know, when your max HP is lowered by using your skills, conditional recharge will put you at low health, and then walk a tight rope will give you even more damage. You're just gonna have to avoid getting hit, but if you're trying to like do some speedrun stuff, you could rock that. But that is kind of the main build. For right now, I've just been rocking duration for the extra quality of life. And if you ever feel like you need to be extra tanky, you can add some more HP. We are rocking a ton of defense, though, so we still feel pretty tanky. And that is the Ajax setup. For the Thundercage, you're going to want cores of electric attack, firearm crit damage, fire rate, and I've got recoil reduction. The like yellow slot is kind of up to you. You could go for like grapple, you could go for sprint. I've got recoil on because it means you don't have to pull down the gun at all, which is pretty nice, especially if you're rocking sharp precision shot. And then for our reactor, I'm rocking a just cooldown duration reactor. For components, we're rocking 2-piece moving fortress, 2-piece shell crusher. 2-piece shell crusher will give us fire rate. Moving fortress gives us the defense increase, and then you're looking for max HP and defense cores on everything. For our inversion reinforcements, we're rocking adrenaline surge, ammo system, and shield particle reconfiguration, grabbing quantum domain, pain amp, and Arche stabilization. This is what I was rocking for my Arche tuning board. Mainly picking up defense neutralization so that whenever we land a skill attack, we reduce whatever we're fighting's defense by 50%, which does impact gun damage. So this is a huge damage pickup for our weapons. We also just drop down to grab some extra skill duration. You could put this in HP if you wanted to be a little bit more tanky. Grab some weak point damage, some additional damage with your weapon to Colossuses. This only works if you have a Colossus damage weapon roll on your gun, which I currently do. Grab some firearm crit rate, some firearm crit damage, and I grabbed this extra firearm attack node here, and that is the Arche tuning board. You could adjust slightly if you wanted to like not use this. You could go and grab the HP or path up and get the extra firearm attack here. But this is the general board that you're going to be wanting to be rocking. The last thing to mention is kind of our rotation and upkeep of skills for optimal damage on Ajax. I usually start with the 3 into the 2 into the 1 and then pop the 4 buffed. And by the time that goes up, then we can go back into our 3, into our 2, and then into our 1. And then once you're here, this is where you can stay for, 25 plus seconds, just shooting and killing things. You don't need to do anything else past that. We just want to keep up our void energy at max stack so that we can get the extra fire rate and also keep up our mobile fortress enhanced bonuses so we can get that firearm crit damage, crit chance, and also the defense increase amount. And that will keep you just doing ridiculous amounts of damage. Guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Overall, Thundercage is really cool. It hurts to look at for too long periods of time. However, it is undoubtedly really powerful and a super awesome weapon that most players already have in their arsenal that with a few tweaks can be turned into an absolute powerhouse. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you all on the next one. Take care. Peace.